say?
I said I want to kiss you.
My dear, that can be... Oh, wow! Yeah, all right. She has... There's no sense in fooling around with a little peck on the cheek here, Darlene. Now, what'd you say?
I said I don't even care if I win.
Let's forget this. Let's get this, Darlene. You'll still...
So that's how all those stories about you get started.
That's right. That was the beginning of the end of my reputation right there.
Greta on the toll-free Queens, New York. Hi, and welcome to the Bob Barker Show.
The Bob Barker Show.
Hi, Greta, you're on. Greta in Queens, New York. Hello.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Greta.
Love the show, Tom.
Thanks.
In your personal opinion, what is the success for TV shows today?
What is the what?
The success. What is the reason for the success of TV shows, game shows today? Baba Booey, I would turn Baba Booey, I would turn Baba Booey.
Another treasured live television moment. Game shows, you know, are now the talk of television. Cable's doing game shows.
Right.
HBO's doing...
back.
Yeah. Well, they never really left, my
No,
friend.
well, all the years that I've been around, I've watched it. It's like the stock market. Up, down, and now we're coming back.
On December the 21st, 1956, you got a phone call from Ralph Edwards. And, and when you came to Hollywood, you had the Bob Barker Show.
Well, when I came to Hollywood, I had nothing.
Well, I know,
I didn't even have an agent, no contacts at all. But I got the Bob Barker Show going. And Ralph had sold Truth or Consequences, and he was auditioning hosts in New York and out here in Hollywood, but he hadn't found just the one he wanted.
And I'm told that you used to listen to Ralph.
Oh, I did. On radio.
And
sure.
that now and again things would happen on the Bob Barker Show that happened on Truth or Consequences. You know, imitation.
When I first came to Hollywood, I used to go and to watch Ralph do his show. And I stole things from his warm-up that I still use. That's right.
And so anyway, you got a call from Bob Barker around Christmas of 1956.
Ralph turned on his car radio and he heard my Bob Barker Show. And he liked my work, and he gave me a call. I went in, and after a series of auditions, on December 21st, at 5 minutes past 12 noon, he called me and told me I was to be the host of Truth or Consequences.
Wow.
And every December 21st since then, Ralph and I have met for lunch and had a little toast to our
Good for you.
long and enduring friendship.
There's nothing wrong with that, sir. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you how many of our viewers and listeners emailed us via the computer network and asked me to ask you about Truth or Consequences and whether you think it influenced some of the so-called reality programming we have on the air today, like America's Funniest Home Videos.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The shows where they have the bloopers and they play tricks on people, all of that. We were doing that on Truth or Consequences years ago. And I might add, we were doing it better than they're doing it today. I'd love to see some of those old tapes on television.
Well, as a matter of fact...
I'd look like my grandson doing the show.
Many people have asked whether Truth or Consequences could... I mean, it was a very, very popular show in its time. Could it come back? Could it be reincarnated?
And it will, sooner or later.
Yeah.
It will. It will.
And, for example, you can buy The Honeymooners, and you can buy Milton Berle's Texaco Star Theater, and you can buy The Tonight. Can you buy Truth or Consequences?
I don't know. I don't know whether you can or not. Ralph talked with me a few years ago about the possibility of it being in reruns. But what you have just said, you know, that would make a good video, the best of Truth or Consequences.
Sure.
Some of those stunts were hilarious.
Yes, they were.
They were great.
Well, tell the folks what... I mean, you don't have to give me a stunt, but you'd ask the contestant a question, and then if he didn't...
I'd ask a question.
Right.
And if they didn't answer the question, they must pay the consequences.
If you don't tell the truth.
And, right, if you don't tell the truth, you must pay the consequences. And if they answered the question, and it happened occasionally, I would discover it was a two-part question. I'd pull out the second part. And one time, I had a smart aleck answer two questions, but it was a three-part question. Because once I did my own warm-up and chose the contestants, and I'd get the right guy, he was going to pay the consequence.
And the consequence was they'd go out in the studio and make them do all manner of things.
Oh, and we did things out on the street. We used to do the show at Sunset and Pine, the old studio there where there's now a savings and loan. And we did great things out on the street, great things.
I also got email from something that you did, your only movie, Happy Gilmore.
Did you have to say it was my only movie? Don't I have a future? Won't there be more, Tom? Yes, that was my movie career.
With Adam Sandler.
Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler.
And you're on the golf course and you get into a huge fight.
That's right. We're on the golf course, and he's supposed to be a professional, and I want to win this tournament. I had won it the year before with Nick Price as my partner, supposedly. And he was playing badly, and I began to be more and more insulting in my remarks, and he had a terrible temper in the picture. And he lost his temper. He hit me in the jaw. He said, all right, that'll take care of you, old man. And much to his dismay, I got up and beat the hell out of him.
Beat the crap out of him.
That's right.
Well, I got an awful lot of email from people online who respond to our programs here, and they asked whether you, me to ask you whether you enjoyed that appearance, and you obviously did.
Oh, I did.
And whether or not there would be a sequel to it, and you would obviously like that to happen as well.
Well, as no offer has poured in as yet, but I'm certainly hopeful. I came out here in 1950, and it took me 46 years to get my first picture. I can't wait that long for the second picture. Maybe even 46 months is too long to wait.
Have you ever wondered, you know, when you do something that you really think is good, why the phone doesn't just light up? You know what I'm saying to you? Where you do a great show, and you've done so many. I remember when I was leaving NBC when we did the Tomorrow Show there, I really felt that we'd have to install a separate switchboard in 30 Rockefeller Plaza for all the job offers that were to come pouring in. You know how many people called? Zippo! Here is Manny in New York City, New York. Hi.
Hi, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
I just had a quick comment for Mr. Snyder and a question for Mr. Barker.
Very good, sir.
Mr. Snyder, I used to get in trouble all the time in the late 70s staying up late watching your show. And,
I hope you got a good education, and I hope you're terribly successful.
well, of course, I missed you terribly in the 80s, but, Mr. Barker, I actually met you when I was 14 years old in the Dominican Republic in 1977.
Oh, my. I was down there doing the
Miss Universe pageant.
Miss Universe pageant, yes.
And I actually met you again in 1981 when you were in New York. And my question for you is, I absolutely miss you terribly. You brought a lot of class and a lot of style to those.
Well, now, why
I'm wondering if you miss doing those shows.
Oh, you missed me on the pageant?
Right, on Miss
Absolutely.
Universe and Miss USA.
yes.
And you did the Rose Parade for CBS for 21
Sometimes
years.
I wake up in the night saying, Miss Argentina!
When I
Yes,
was a
I missed
child-
them. I had a lot of fun doing them, and you know why I left them.
Yes, I do.
During the fur flap. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I miss you terribly, though, because I remember as a child, right before I met you when I was 14, my family was so... My mom actually loves you, of course, through The Price is Right, and whenever anyone asks me, what do you want to be when you grow up, I said it's not what I want to be, it's who I want to be, and when I was a kid, I used to say, I want to be Bob Barker when I grow up.
It sounds to me as if you come from a well-adjusted family.
It's a pleasure talking to both of you gentlemen. I love you both.
Thank you, Manny, for calling,
night.
and
Thank
thanks
you,
for
Manny.
watching our show. Incidentally, and I don't want to get into the fur flap because we've done that before, but you know why it was originally done, why animal fur was worn by human beings, because they were freezing to death.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was very, very cold.
But times have changed.
Yes, they have. But, I mean, back then, you know,
Right.
people were
Right.
freezing to death, and we
Right.
didn't have nylon or rayon or all those other things.
That's right.
But they were freezing.
Yes.
And the other thing that
As you say, we have done this before.
Yes, we have. And the other thing that the viewers really want to know is, do you have any pets?
Yes, I have a wonderful little cat named Dulce, which means sweet,
Sweet,
in Spanish. And I have a wonderful dog named Federico. And they're both bilingual. They bark and meow in Spanish as well
Yeah.
as English.
And
we're a
do
happy
they
family.
do they get along, dog and cat?
Oh, she sleeps on me on the bed, and he sleeps right beside the bed, and the three of us are there. Yeah.
But I've always thought that dogs and cats didn't get along, no?
No, once they
Acclimate to each other.
Sure.
In fact, I hear you picked up an Airedale today.
well, I did. That's right.
Sure
I was
beats models
going
on
to
the
do
show,
an
you know.
interview about our primetime special on one of the newscasts here in town. And as we're going along, here's this beautiful Airedale
yeah.
out in the middle of bumper-to-bumper traffic, leaping around. I don't think it had ever been on the street before. So I had to stop the limo. I jump out of the car. I'm running through the traffic. I got the dog, got it in the limo. We do the show. We call the owner. He's not there. I go up, and he wasn't home, but his next-door neighbor knows the dog, has the dog for him when he comes home. So it was a happy ending.
What a guy. Rescuer of lost puppies. This is fabulous. You know, I think the world of you. And
Thank you. I'm very fond of you,
I
too.
know. And I can't wait to see this show coming up August 23rd because I love clips. I absolutely adore them.
Well,
and I look forward to it.
We have, we play some games, pricing games.
Oh, we do.
And we have a showcase, as we do on our daytime show. But we have about 20 minutes of clips integrated throughout the show.
Oh, wonderful.
Not all in one part.
Gotcha.
And I think you'll enjoy it.
I will indeed. Hey, if you're on it, I'm going to love it. Thank you, Robert.
Tom.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bob Barker, Price is Right, special CBS, August 23rd. Next, Judith Miller and the strange goings-on, politics in the Middle East, after these messages. Oh, you're...